everyone, and welcome to a very special episode of the New Homes podcast. I'm Sonal from Redrow, and I'm here today in the garden of our Canterbury house type at our Munchelsea Park development in Kent. I'm joined here today by Julian Brown, barbecue chef.
Hi, Sonal.
Hi, thank you for joining us today.
Thank you for having me.
And also Rupert Bates, editor of Barbecue Magazine.
Hi, Sonal. Lovely to be here.
And today we'll be exploring the different ways that you can make use of your outdoor space and cook all year round. So we'll start off with you, Julian. I know according to your Instagram bio, you are the tamer of flames. So tell me more about your background.
I've been very fortunate. I used to work in the city for about 20 years and a friend asked me to come and work in hospitality and cooking over fire. And I haven't looked back. It's been great. Absolutely amazing. I've been doing events and cooking with some of the greatest fire cooking chefs all across the world. Travelled quite a bit as well. So, yeah, it's been brilliant. Yeah.
And Rupert, you're editor of Barbecue Magazine. Tell me more about outdoor cooking and a bit more about yourself.
Yes, well, actually, Barbecue Magazine was really born out of lockdown, really. Obviously, the pandemic's been brutal for so many people in so many ways, but what certainly noticed was more people forced to cook from home and cooking outside, and the sort of barbecue world took off. So as a publisher, I saw an opportunity for the whole food, fire, outdoor cooking, outdoor living. And of course, it actually dovetailed very nicely with my existing business, which includes Show House Magazine, which is the trade magazine for house builders. I think the great thing about barbecue is you light a fire, you start a party, don't you?
You do, yeah.
So it actually
100%.
It triggers it. You've got the flames. People gather around. So it's such a social thing to do.
Yeah.
And as Julian will advocate as well, don't worry about the weather. I mean, we've got a lovely day here today, but we advocate barbecue 365.
Yeah, and I think we'll probably talk about that in a
Yeah,
little
that's
bit,
exactly
but
what I'd like to talk
definitely-
about today, and just making use of that outdoor space all year round. And barbecues are not just for the summer.
No, there's
all
an
year
irony
round?
around kind of barbecues in the summer because it's generally, depending on the weather, but it's generally the hottest time of the year. So it's the weirdest time to be stuck behind something that's extremely hot. So yeah, we'll talk about that later, cooking outside 365, as you like to put it, Rupert.
Absolutely, looking forward to it.
Christmas turkey on the barbecue.
Oh, wow,
we did
okay.
last Christmas, which is fantastic.
Yeah.
I can see behind we've got various different types of equipment that you've brought along today. So can you just talk me through some of those bits and pieces?
Rupert, you can talk, because you bought one yourself, so you can talk about that. And that being the kit that I least like working on the most.
Okay. Yes, I carried a gas barbecue from Sussex to Kent.
Oh, wow.
But no, it's a wonderful Weber, fantastically convenient, and so really high tech now. The great thing now with barbecues, is that you can, particularly if you're a rank amateur like me, and I might edit a Barbecue Magazine, and I love writing about food. I love eating food, but at the moment
I'm the same.
Are you the same?
Except when it comes to barbecues, I have very little knowledge, so I'm very looking forward to hearing from the experts.
Well, I'm married to an Australian, and she won't let me anywhere near the barbecue. So, but gas, obviously, there is the convenience of gas
Totally.
in terms of timings, isn't there? And now you can, you've got all sorts of props again, which we'll probably talk about. But so on the one hand, you've got the big gas barbecue, which is from Weber. And then actually I'll probably move on the Kamado Joe, which Julian can probably tell you about, because that's...
Yeah, that's much more charcoal, completely charcoal. So it's an amazing bit of kit. It's a smoker, it's an oven, it's a grill, it's a slow cooker. So it's one of those pieces of kit that you can do pretty much everything on.
Yeah.
And again, we'll talk about this a little bit more, but it is high end. So it's a very expensive piece of kit. So it's probably not the sort of piece of kit that people who are starting off in barbecue, unless they've got a nice big budget, will go out and purchase straight away.
Okay. Would you say it's the Weber that's more for budget?
Weber do an amazing range, actually, from real entry-level barbecue all the way through to high end.
Okay.
And I think personally, I don't know about you, Rupert, but generally, if I'm starting going in on a budget, I would definitely buy a Weber which has a lid on it.
Okay.
Because then it can be an oven, you can smoke on it, you can do so much, but it's not going to break the bank.
You can do a simple sort of fire pit, can't you? You can get really, that really elemental, or you can go sort of grade up through the options with all the bells and whistles. So, according to budget. So I think, there's something for everybody.
Yeah, the two pieces, that piece of kit, the Weber and the Kamado Joe, are quite expensive pieces of kit.
And you mentioned about charcoal. What's the difference between charcoal to gas, and does that produce the same results when it comes to food?
This is a whole new podcast to start talking about charcoal. This is something, again, we talked briefly about provenance of ingredients.
Okay.
Charcoal has exactly the same, it needs to be really, really thought about, because charcoal provenance is so important.
So I can see there's a pizza oven behind as well?
There is a pizza oven. You probably know a little bit more about that pizza oven than I do. It's an uni. It's a really, really lovely piece of kit.
Really fancy.
It is.
It's a pellet.
Yes, it's a pellet. It's a uni Fira, I think it is. But Uni again do a real range of pizza ovens, and that's the lovely thing again about barbecue. It's a separate piece of kit that you can move on to sort of wood-fired ovens and doing pizzas. And I think also the great thing about that is it's really great sort of family cooking entertainment, isn't it? The whole pizza thing, you can make your own, roll your own dough, put your own toppings on, and stick it in there, and it's just just adds another aspect to the theatre of outdoor cooking. So I think we've got a perfect little range here, haven't we? We've got a gas barbecue,
covered,
a Kamado Joe, which of course is red, so it's right on brand with Red Row.
Perfect, yeah.
And the Uni pizza oven. So I'm really looking forward to Julian's cooking, and I hope we get to eat it as well, rather than just look at it. But it's I'm sure you'll cook up a storm.
Looking forward to it. So Rupert, coming from a property background with your Show House magazine, do you think home buyers are prioritising outdoor space like this?
Absolutely. I think, in fact, there was a Red Rose survey which said as much, in terms of more and more people, outdoor space has really moved up the pecking order in terms of their priorities, which is fantastic to see. And I think that's the great opportunity for the house building industry and the likes of Red Rose, which you're clearly doing, is actually, if you can get that outdoor space right, the advantages of buying new build, because you can start with that blank canvas and create that great outdoor space, and the outdoor inside out flow
of course.
is fantastic. So we've seen a huge rise in consumers looking for outdoor space.
So I know we just touched on pizza and a few bits of meats, but what are people actually cooking?
There's nothing they can't cook. We're very fortunate, and a lot of both professional chefs, amateur chefs, send us in recipes. We have a recipe section, and some of them, you want to end up eating the pages. But there's some really clever stuff that quirky stuff that you wouldn't imagine. We think British barbecue, don't we? We think of a cremated sausage, raw on the inside, burnt on the outside, but it's moved on so much from that. I mean, it's so funny. I mean, Julian's experience around the world, it's quite funny that you'll get. I have South African friends, Australian friends who still can't believe we could possibly compete with them when it comes to, not that it's a competition, but it does get quite competitive, doesn't it? In terms of what you can cook. There's obviously plenty of vegetarian, vegan options. It's not all about meat and fire. You can do almost anything on a barbecue.
You can. And we're going to be doing lots of different things today. So we're going to be doing some vegan dishes, some vegetarian dishes, and some meat dishes. I just love the fact that people are really using it like they would their conventional kitchen. So they're not scared now to go out and go, right, actually, I'm going to dial the Kamado Joe in, and I'm going to cook this, and I'm going to do a shoulder of lamb, and I'm going to cook it for 8 hours in the barbecue and keep tending the coals, making sure that the heat remains static. And people are just loving it. And of course, ultimately, they're out in the garden.
Absolutely. We did a piece in the latest issue, actually, with Sir Chris Hoy, the Olympic cyclist, who's absolutely bonkers about barbecue. Yes. And he does these sort of briskets for 16 hours, and he'll post it at the start at Instagram at the end. And I did this interview with him, and it's fascinating. And I joked with him, and it was the pause that gave it away. I joked with him. I said, I think he's won 6 Olympic gold medals. He said, what gives you more satisfaction, Olympic gold or the perfect brisket? And he hesitated. And he said, Rupert, that's how passionate I am about barbecue. And he said, because he's, an elite athlete, everything he does, he wants to do to the best of his ability. So, but again, the enjoyment, he just loves it. But there's so many interesting people with interesting stories to tell and passions for barbecue.
Amazing. Okay. Well, shall we go take a look at some of the food on the menu?
I think we should, definitely.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Let's go for it.
So first up, this is the gas barbecue?
It is the gas barbecue.
Okay.
This is the Weber Genesis 2. This is a really lovely piece of kit. It's so easy to work with, really easy to light. Basically, you turn the dial, get the gas coming through, and then ignite. It's really, really cool.
That's it?
Yeah, really,
Oh, wow.
really simple.
Okay.
There it is.
So what are we cooking today?
We're going to cook the butternut squash on here.
Okay.
Which we're going to cook whole, okay? So I'm just going to squeeze past you, Rupert. So this is the butternut squash. So a lot of people think, Christ, we're going to peel this and put it straight on or dice it up and cook it. We're not. We're going to put this straight on the grill like that.
That's it?
That is it. Super simple.
Really?
No oil, nothing.
Oh, wow.
We're going to cook
Okay.
it whole, right? So next up is the Tandoori Spatchcock chicken.
Nice.
So what we've done by spatchcocking it, we've taken out the backbone, flattened it off, and it's a much quicker and easier way to cook a whole chicken. And I'm going to put a digital thermometer into it so that we can cook this chicken to absolute perfection.
Okay, so you're going to leave the thermometer.
The thermometer runs on Bluetooth.
Right.
So you pop it in and you've got an app on your phone. This is a Meter Plus. You've got an app on your phone and it will tell you when the chicken is cooked to perfection.
Yeah, the great thing about a meter, or any thermometer, and this is a wireless thermometer, is it's so important, particularly as a beginner. You're very worried about cooking it to the right temperatures for the right length of time, etc.
Yeah.
Particularly chicken. So this just gives you absolute confidence in a digital way as well. So you can be quite relaxed, knowing when it's cooked and ready to be eaten.
Right, I'm going to put the chicken on.
Okay.
Now. So it's skin side down. You hear that lovely sizzle?
Oh, it smells amazing already.
Yeah.
It does, doesn't it?
Yeah.
And Julian, actually, one thing I've noticed, because, and I don't know if you know this, if you notice that the two right hand, you've got two on and one off. Why is that, Julian? Why aren't they all on?
Because I don't need it all on at this moment in time. I'm going to keep this offset. So this is just going to cook in the residual heat that's being created this side. And the lovely thing about these gas barbecues is you can control the heat much easier and much quicker than you can with charcoal.
Okay.
Much more convenient. But what I'm going to do now is I'm going to close the lid because it's going to stop that from flaming, and that's just going to bring this up like an oven, and it's going to cook it beautifully all the way through. And our temperature probe will let us know when it's perfect.
Amazing. Do you need to flip it over on the other side at all? Or?
I will do probably in about 10 to 15 minutes. We'll open it up and I'll turn the chicken over.
Julian, I've been dying to ask what we're doing with that beetroot over there.
Good question, Sonal. We're doing we call it dirty beetroot, okay?
Oh, right, okay.
So these beetroots aren't going on a grill, they're going straight into the coals.
Like inside the actual
Straight
coal?
into the coals, like I'm dropping them straight on
Okay.
to these beautiful hot coals. And what will happen is they'll char and go crispy on the outside, and they'll cook and be really juicy on the inside.
Right, okay.
And when we're ready, we'll just break all of that crust off and it will show this beautifully cooked beetroot in the middle. It's amazing.
First time I've heard of something like that before,
We
but
call
I'm really
it dirty
excited.
cooking, straight on the coals.
How long will it take, Julian?
These will take about 45 minutes.
Okay.
Just depends on the size of the beetroot. Some are big, some are small, but roughly these size beetroot be about 45 minutes.
5 minutes, okay. And do you close the lid and just let it sit?
We can close the
or-
lid or we can just leave it like that. It's going to be a very similar cook time.
How are you going to cook the sweet corn?
So we've got the beetroot in dirty.
Okay.
I'm going to put the grill on top now because we've still got all that lovely cooking space.
Okay.
And I'm going to put the sweet corn on top of the grill like this.
Just like that?
Just like that.
Oh, wow, okay. So you can do both at the same time?
Exactly. You've got all that cooking space. So you've got down dirty in the coals and then up on the grill. Okay, and then I'm going to shut this down.
And how long does the sweet corn take?
The sweet corn won't take long, 5-10 minutes.
And Julian, your meter has just pinged.
Amazing.
Removed
Let's
from heat.
get the chicken off the grill.
Oh, wow,
There
look at
she
that colour.
is.
Wow, that looks fantastic. Smells
Smells
good.
amazing. Looks like it's perfectly cooked as well.
Perfectly cooked.
So this is a pizza oven?
This is a pizza oven. Why do you question it like that?
I'm just surprised. I was expecting for something, you know, like a big dome-sized shape.
I mean, you can get pizza ovens all shapes and sizes. I mean,
Okay.
great thing about this, very portable and light.
Yeah.
But equally, yes, you can have a massive wood-fired oven that can take
Yeah.
up a considerable amount of space. But this is great. It's portable, it's quick, and you can move it about.
Accessible as well.
Very accessible.
So I see you just put some pellets in there. Is that how you get it up and going?
Yes, so round the back, there's a little tray, and you put your firelighters in the tray, and then you fill this chimney here with pellets. And then they burn down, and all that beautiful heat goes through into the oven in here.
So how are we going to make the flatbreads today?
So the flatbread is a really simple dough. It's actually a pizza dough. It's not really flatbread by its truest sense. It's just some flour and some semolina flour and some honey, some yeast, which we made yesterday, and we've allowed it to prove overnight.
Okay.
And that's it. Super simple, super easy, ready to go in the oven.
So how long does it take to cook?
It should take a matter of minutes, Sonal. It shouldn't take very long
wow.
at all, about 2 or 3 minutes.
Yeah. I think it's great for when the kids are starving and you're trying to keep them occupied in the lounge or something.
Well, they should be coming out and making them with you.
That is true, yeah.
Ready? Should we put one in?
Yep, let's do
go.
it.
Go for it.
There we go.
That's it.
That's it,
Done?
Sonal. Yeah, it's done.
Oh my God, that was so
Doesn't
quick.
take very long at all. I'm going to pop that on there.
Perfect, okay. So what do we do next with this?
We're going to just put some anchovy butter. Really simple. In fact, you're going to do it.
Okay.
So it's just some lovely salted butter mixed in with some anchovy fillets. Just spread it all over the top. That's it.
Yeah, it's ever so smooth. And it
Lovely.
smells
Push
lovely.
it down. You can push it down.
Okay.
There you go. Beautiful.
Perfect, okay. Do you think that's corn done now?
The corn is done now.
Okay.
It's time to take it off.
Oh, wow, they're
So there
pretty
it is.
golden.
It's beautifully grilled.
perfect.
And by still keeping the husk on, you can just take it off by hand.
Amazing.
Okay.
See, normally I'd smother that in butter, but what
It
about
is going to
vegan
get
options?
smothered in butter.
Okay,
But we're going to smother it in a vegan butter
perfect.
with some black tahini and some Aleppo chili.
Wow.
So it's a vegan option.
How's the beetroot looking?
The beetroot's ready to come out. So I'm going to just lift it out with the tongs. Put it on this plate so you can see how charred it is.
Yeah, very
on
charred.
the outside. It looks pretty awful.
I didn't want to say, but I'm glad you said that.
Hidden in there are the beautifully cooked flesh.
Don't judge a beetroot by its cover.
Not when it's been cooked dirty. Lovely. And these I'm going to serve with some goat's cheese and some date molasses.
Nice,
Yeah.
yeah. So do you peel them first?
Yeah, you
and-
break all of that lovely crusty shell, you take all of that off, and that
Okay.
will reveal all the cooked beetroot underneath. Be gorgeous and sweet.
Looking forward to trying that later.
So we've got a vegetarian feast as well as a meat feast, haven't we?
Yeah, a bit of both.
Bit of both.
Again, I've got some lovely pork chops here that I've put a little bit of salt in, and these are going to go directly on the grill. And these should be ready in about 10 to 15 minutes.
Great.
And once they're ready, we'll let them rest and we can plate up our lovely barbecue feast
Great. We
in
get
this
to eat.
amazing Red Row garden.
It is, it's fabulous.
Looking forward to it. It smells and looks delicious, Julian. Thank you so much.
An absolute
Certainly
pleasure.
does. Wow.
Do you want to talk me through what you've done?
Yeah,
over
okay,
here?
so briefly, it's super fast. So we've got a basic mozzarella pizza there, buffalo mozzarella. We've got some beautiful pork chops with some pickled blackberries. We've got roasted butternut squash with some dressings and some pumpkin seeds. We've got beautiful tandoori chicken, this lovely corn with some vegan butter and the dirty beetroot. Remember the dirty beetroot?
Yep.
With some goat's cheese and some mint and some roasted buckwheat. So, yeah, it's quite a feast that we've put on.
I know.
It's amazing, isn't it?
In such a short amount of time as well. I can't believe how much we managed to, well, I know you did most of it, but pull together.
Well, it was a team effort. It was a team effort. It was great to be able to go and prep inside the Red Row Hound, the Canterbury house. It was a really lovely space to work in there. Yeah.
What do you think of our homes?
I think they're
sure
amazing.
You've had a look around?
Yeah, no, I've really, really enjoyed looking around. It's the first time I've been in a Red Row home, and I think they're fabulous. I mean, all the prep that we did inside, all the utilities, everything's been amazing.
Oh, I'm really pleased to hear that.
This really is the fifth room in the house, isn't it? We're dining in the fifth room in the house, outside.
Making use of the space.
Making use of it, absolutely. And I think, as you say, it looks fantastic and it'll taste brilliant, but also it just shows it's accessible to all. I mean, Julian is a great chef, but even amateurs like you and I. So I think
it would taste better, I'm sure, if we could have a little bit of your barbecue beer.
Barbecue beer, yes, absolutely. Well, we brewed this especially to go with grilled meats, so it'd be churlish not to accompany our food with some barbecue beer. So thank you very much, Sonal, for having us here. It's been fantastic.
No, thank you for joining us as well. And I feel like I've learned a lot, and I'm ready to.
I hope you have learned a lot.
I have.
You know, it's again, this is what this is about. It's kind of, you know, instructional and just showing everybody what you can do in the garden.
Yeah. Not being afraid.
No, being that room in the house that should be utilised.
Thank you for watching and listening. Our next episode is all about interiors and how to style your new home. So make sure you tune in, like and subscribe. See you next time. Julian, can you pass me the beetroot, please? I'm really...
Rupert.
You had your eyes on those. I had my eyes on those, but you did ask first. So there you go.
Thank you.
There you go. Rupert,
I'm going to go.
I'm
going to go straight for the chicken.
Are you? And I'm going to go
chicken.
for some pork.